So, hi everyone. We are back with the LinkedIn Live session today with a very important topic, I think, as we're talking about Shopware PaaS. And I'm really happy to have two great guys with me. So, the first one is Jörn Paulsen. So, he's our business manager, so the business brain behind Shopware PaaS. I'm also very glad to be supported by John. So Jonathan is here in this session to provide you also with a short and glimpse insight about the UI and the front end of Shopware PaaS. Cool. First, why are we doing this session? So a lot of you might ask, so this is a highly maybe also technical session, but it shouldn't be. So we as Shopware are not only the trusted advisor to a lot of our merchants, we also care a lot about efficiency. So as we are in the so-called era of efficiency, where you definitely need to have, as a merchant, a very good eye on your operational costs, we also want to contribute with Shopware PaaS to make you much more efficient, and that you can, as a merchant, concentrate on what you can do best, create unique shopping experiences. Good. To the agenda of today. So first of all, we will have a short introduction. We will also provide you with some information why this session is also important from a cost perspective, and why efficiency is so much valuable for you as a merchant. The second is that we will provide you with a calculator to this, and the part then leads over to John, who will provide you with a short demo. And at the end, we also want to have your questions. So we will definitely also answer some of your questions that you might have to the distribution model of Shopware PaaS. And at the end, hopefully we will end up by about 35 to 40 minutes. The session will then end. Good. If some of you might ask, okay, who's Shopware? I think that the majority of you already know what we are doing, but here are just some fast and quick facts about Shopware. So we are a mid-sized company having about 450 employees at present. So we're having a great partner network which consists about 1,600 agencies and technology partners. And maybe you ask yourself, so why do we have such a vast ecosystem out there? It's because we are open source and API first. And so the power of Shopware relies a lot in our ecosystem. We're also having a tremendous growth path, about 40% each year, I think, stand for itself. And what is also very important for you is that 45,000 commercial customers currently do about 20 to 21 billion euro turnover each year. And what we care a lot about is that the majority of what a merchant is doing and is doing in turnover should also be kept with that merchant. So, and this is why we also do that session. I think this is a good point also to lead over with a question to my colleague Jörn. So we have 3 different distribution models, which is, I think, very unique in this environment of digital business. And this is self-hosted, SaaS, and also PaaS. So, and Jörn, why is that important?
Yes, thank you, Boris. To answer that question, I would like to start with looking into the differences of these 3 distribution models you named. So on the one side, we have SaaS, which aim is always to be the best out of the box model here. And that means that for a merchant, you get everything, every maintenance you need, every operational issue solved by us. So the application and infrastructure is totally run by us. That means that it's very efficient for you, and in a lot of cases makes sense. But it's still, you have to see that it's opinionated by us, meaning that we deliver tools and APIs so that you configure and customize Shopware in a way, but there is limits to it. And that's why still a lot of customers are choosing self-hosted, because they want more customizability and flexibility in that. So in the end, it's also the access to the code. But that means you can do everything with self-hosted, but it also means you have to do everything. So you have to coordinate all maintenance tasks. You are the one that has to make sure that the operations run. And for that, you normally take other providers, and that means you have different third-party providers like your host of the agency and Shopware for the application support, and maybe others in addition. And that means you are standing between the chairs and also have to coordinate things here, which takes you time and money. And in the end, there's the third solution, which is PaaS. And there you get, I would say, the best of both worlds, because you get the full flexibility and customizability on the application side. So what self-hosted offers you, or why people are choosing self-hosted, but it still takes away a lot of the pain of operations and maintenance you would have when doing self-hosted on your own or with other providers you have to handle. And as you don't have to care about these operations, security, and all the stuff that comes along with it, you can fully concentrate your money and time on building the perfect customer experience. And that you can see here can spend you up to 40 to 60% of your time that you can invest then for doing, like, building the best customer experience. So we give you here the maximum of flexibility to the best cost-price ratio. Yes, and while you concentrate on this part, so the left part here, building the experience, we deliver everything else, meaning we provide you with an easy and optimized way of scaling your Shopware application, of deployment and testing and your data management. And we take care of a lot of things like the whole security, the infrastructure management, making sure that the performance of the infrastructure is good, the whole operation that lies behind it, and also making sure that you that you are compliant with governance and other legal rules. And in addition, and that's also a very important part in operations, we give you 24/7 follow the sun support, which means that every time somewhere in the world somebody is there to help you if there's a problem with your infrastructure, and that is also proactively. To achieve all of this, we have a well-known and well-proved technology in behind, which is technology of Platform as H. But what is very important about that is we are your only provider in terms of the whole e-commerce solution. So making sure your application, making sure your infrastructure runs, and you can rely on us. Yes. Thanks. As we are talking today about the era of efficiency, we also should now look into the side of what is the savings for you, or why is this more efficient in terms of return on investment. And there's a calculator. We will also send you the link in the chat here so that you can try it yourself, where you can get an idea about the savings you can have through using Shopware PaaS. So as an example, we have put here that you run 6 applications with 4 developers in your organization. You can also think about if they are external in the same way. And what is your cost for these developers per year? And you see here on the right side that in a 3 years return of investment, you have 40K hours, developer hours saved, which would be for you an efficiency saving of 212,000 euros. That is just to give you an idea how much time and money you can in the end save when using PaaS. And for sure, we would love to give you a calculation on your business together with you to really dig deeper how your savings could be with this. And I think Boris will share a link in the end for that. And with that, I would also hand over to you, Boris, again. Thanks from my side.
Yeah, thanks, Jörn. Great insights. And I think it's definitely great to know why we are doing this. I mean, it's definitely, making sure that your team as a merchant can focus on what makes you a great brand. And I think that's definitely not taking care of testing, deployment, etc. So that should be in the hands of someone different. And we're offering this. And second is definitely a cost overview. And honestly, I'm also not a person who really trusts numbers if they are that large. So, but just take into consideration if just the half of it would mean an efficiency saving. So why not try that? So, and sure, we definitely need to have an eye on individual cases, but that's also what we can do. So the link, Jörn, is already posted in the network. And I think that everyone can have a first, introduction to this, looking into those numbers. And we're also happy to discuss on that, because the return of investment calculator is just the first basis to discuss on. So how much can we achieve in working, collaborating with you? Good, but that's to the sales side today. So the next thing is I'm really happy to have John here, who will give you a presentation about what is Shopware PaaS and how does it look like. So thanks first, Jörn, and welcome, John, to the session.
Hi, yes, I will guide you through the interface of our PaaS solution today. So what we are currently seeing here is the first project view. So if you would have a project within our PaaS plan, then it would look like this for you when you start your first project. And you can have many of those projects, but I think for the most of the projects, it would be one at first. And we can now directly click on our project. And then we see the interface which comes with the PaaS solution. And what we see here is at least a project which is in a completely end-to-end platform. And end-to-end platform because you can ensure to have everything in there. So from the first commit to everything which is below your application, so below Shopware, is managed by Platform SH and by Shopware. And therefore, also the whole management of the whole application and everything which comes with it, so also different services, everything is included in this PaaS solution. So from deployments over really hosting the projects only with using our template, and a whole branch management with which you can just create a new environment from a production branch or from the staging branch. And you do not have to run many different services on your own. Everything is included in one platform, which is maintained and also supported from Shopware directly. And therefore, I would just switch to another project where we have some examples in there. And therefore, we could, for example, switch to one other project. And in this case, we see that we have a production environment and a test branch. And we can have as many of those as you want, which means it saves you the whole complexity of setting up the whole architecture with having a CI/CD pipeline, with having application performance management. So you really have the whole features for running a Shopware application. So SSL comes with it automatically. You can automatically set up new dev feature staging branches, and you have all the flexibility which you would also have in a self-managed scenario. And what we see here is at least our main production environment and a test branch, which we can, which I will also show in a minute, how this would work and how easy it is. So at least here is used our template, which comes with the following services we see here. So it always comes with different services, and there's always the needed services included in the template. But you also have various other ones, like the possibility to use Varnish or Fastly, which also comes directly with the product. Or when I already talked about application performance management, there already comes Blackfire within the solution. So you have an extensive management tool with which you can really trace errors, and get your application stack really on point, and fixing performance issues. And also our team from Shopware will be included in a PaaS plan to really get the best out of the service. So at least everything could be built within this. At least Shopware is supported, but it's also possible to have various other applications running, which is also, for example, a PIM system or various other ones. So there's also no limitation. If you have different smaller services, they can also be run on Platform as H and our PaaS solution. And in this case, we have a production branch, which is called main here. And if we click on this environment, we have also several options. So we have the options to see different metrics, which shows us the performance and the load of different services which are included in the template. So if there's something in there which goes to some limits, there are two possible ways. On the one hand, you can really define it yourselves, or on the other hand, we also offer a fully automated auto-scaling option also available for PaaS. And there you do not have to care about scaling because the platform itself will scale for you. It's a bit similar to an Amazon EC2 instance. There comes automatically scaling with it. And you still have the full flexibility to really use everything Shopware offers in the store, and also what you normally could only run in a self-hosted scenario. And what we also have is a services section where we then can see all our services which are included in this certain project. And as we see, we have various services included here, but they could slightly differ depending on your own hosting scenario or what you see as best practice for your agency, or also for your in-house project. And here we can see, for example, what services are included, but not only the services have to be maintained by you. The services are maintained by the platform itself. So you only need to define what you need, and we also offer a best practice template so you can use it and just adjust it based on your own needs. And how is this looks like? If we, for example, click now on the database or the app, then we see what different services are defined, but we also see how the complete application is defined. And that all comes from the platform itself. So you only have to change, for example, if you want to upscale a PHP version, it only has to be changed here, and it's a minimum change compared to changing the PHP version on a real self-hosted server. And what also comes included with it is the whole backups section. So you have the possibility to create backups on your own wishes and restore backups. And it's also fully automated. So every day there will be an automated backup. So all of this really comes within one platform. But let's come back to the main features which are included in here. I already talked about shortly that deployments, a CI/CD pipeline are included. So you can use your own. You still have the full flexibility to use your own Jenkins, to use your own Bitbucket pipeline if needed. But the end-to-end platform already has that included, which means if you create a new branch, everything will be set up completely automatically. And we will do it now to just showcase it shortly. So we could just pick our production branch, and then we have the option here on the top that we can create a branch out of it. And when we create a branch, everything will be copied. So you have an exact copy where developers from you can directly work on after a certain time when the environment is created. And they just have to click on a button, and then they have a one-to-one copy where they can work on and develop their features on. And in this case, we can just name it test 2, click on create branch, and that would be everything to set up a new branch. So this would now take 10 minutes in that case, because the database is not that large, but therefore it's quite easy, and it's also quite easy the other way around. 1 second. So when we click on the other branch, which I already have created, then we could also do it vice versa. So we could also, if we have code on our staging environment, which we want to take live, that's also quite easy, and everything comes directly within the platform. So when I would have now different changes on my staging system and want to deploy it on live, it's also quite easy, like the other way around. So we could just click on the branch, or at least also the merge section, and then merge our code into the production, and then we would have the latest changes our developers have done. And this works also the other way around. So if we have a staging environment, we can also update it on a certain base, and that's quite easy as well. We can just set those 2 buttons, and then it would just use the database from our production system and also the code base, and we could just copy it and work with it. So you do not have to complicate it, set up different environments, and also the whole setup comes included with it. Yeah, in that case, if I wanted to take over the files and the database, I can just click on sync, and then everything would be done automatically, like I just shown with creating a new branch. Exact. So in that case, it now creates our second branch, but we can also jump shortly into the main environment. And as we see here, everything comes within the platform. So you do not have to deal about maintaining the underlying infrastructure, but you directly have everything set it up automatically. So in that case, you can access every container which is on the production environment, as well as every container we have on the dev, staging, or feature branch environment. So this is also quite easy, and you can just click on this SSH button, and then you can log in via console to every of those containers or services. And that also comes for the code. We offer at least CLI, which comes with the platform, which you can also use. And with that, you have various functionality to do many things with the platform itself. And at least also there comes within included a whole automated Git repository, which means also when setting up a new branch, then you also get an automated Git repository, which means you do not have to deal with that as well, but you could if you like. And to show shortly what also comes included with that is if we go on the settings, where you also have access then to, is that you can invite different other peoples which should work on the project, which means you have the whole ownership for everything. You can give access for staging environments to different other agencies if there are some resources outsourced, but the overall permissions lies on your side, which means we can go here to project settings and go on access and simply add a new user here and give then the user access to production, staging, or development environments as we like. But we can do it also the other way around and only give access for a certain time and then remove again the user, and then we again completely own also the development environment, or you can also give your own tags. And also different other things are maintained for you. And with that, as I mentioned it already, there's an automated certificates included, which means you do not have to deal with SSL certificates anymore. Those will also be added automatically. And what also comes with it is a whole domain section, which means you can just add your custom domains, also as many as you want, and just use it. You just need to add some domain entries, and that's it. And everything else comes from the platform. So you can, if you already use various different services for everything which comes included for the platform, then maybe there are those cost savings which we already mentioned, when you can replace those services. And here you get a better price, at least because everything comes within one end-to-end platform. And yes, in regards to the time, we cannot show today everything, but a short glimpse of what our PaaS can offer at least. And what I shortly already talked about shortly is that you at least can use all of the automated services, but you have the same flexibility at least within a self-hosted scenario. So talking about that, you have here at least also a point which is called integrations. And with integrations, we have a whole set of already finished integrations which you can use to not directly use everything we have in the platform already prepared for you, but you can also use your own, depending on if you have limitations there internally or something like that. So we have the full flexibility to cover your business needs. So if I would click now on add integration, we already see that everything which we see here is directly automated. So we can add our own Bitbucket server, our own GitHub, GitLab, some email services, and that's not everything. So as I before talked already about that, not only Shopware is possible to run on the PaaS solution, there are many more. So if you have various other services, we have a documentation page at least, which we can also share. And there are templates shared from different programming languages. So you are not limited. You have the full flexibility. If you have a small Java service, this can also be installed on this platform. So at least it's an end-to-end platform, not only meant for Shopware, but which can also be used to have your PIM system running on the same project, on the same PaaS like the Shopware system. And yeah, so you have various templates here, and also various PIM systems are provided. So let's just search for PIM. Yes. Somewhere here is also the PIM system, and yeah, so you have the full flexibility there to use all of them. And yes, for sure, you can also have a demo where you can play around with it. So we offer at least also the option to completely play around with your own application, which means we will give you admin rights, so you could have access to everything we offer included within the PaaS solution. So you can also try it out upfront if it meets your requirements.
Yeah, amazing, John. Thanks a lot. I think that's definitely a great insight. I mean, sure, that kind of demo would have been a little bit more individual to the merchants that we are presenting it. But our intention was more to give you an overview of the capabilities. And I mean, that's great. Seeing also from my personal point of view, seeing all the different tools that are now included in the complete setup. John, question to you: is that maybe one of the major prerequisites why customers that we onboarded recently are that much satisfied? Because I just see the sales perspective. I see the merchants that are onboarding at present are really happy at present, and I don't see any negative feedback to this. So is that one of the success factors, that we come with all the different tools?
Yes, so it really helps that you can really concentrate on the application itself, and everything else directly comes within the PaaS solution. So you do not have to deal for the main template that's also maintained by Shopware. So at least we also give you updates for updating your infrastructure. And with that, you do have to deal much less, or in the projects we have, the developers have to really deal less with the architecture and can really play with the application and concentrate on feature development, because it's so easy to set up new environments and really duplicate code from one environment to another and get the exact same copy, because then you can just play around and it will work the same way like the environment which we copied from. And we have often the problem that between production and staging system, there are bigger differences, and therefore it's hard to really get everything already as errors or something in the staging environments. And our PaaS product really helps there to, on feature development and not dealing so much with infrastructure topics.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. You see, we've just started the Q&A session. So is there anything else that you would like to show in the demo process, or should we switch over to the Q&A?
At least there are many things I would like to show, but I think due to the time, this would completely break our timeline. Therefore, we could maybe do in the future another session about different topics within our PaaS solution. But I think for now, we should leave it for the overall overview, and then maybe later on jump into specific topics like application performance management or something like that, because it's a whole other topic which comes within the PaaS platform. But yeah, if there are questions, and also in regards to technical things, then I would be happy to answer them.
Cool. Great. Thanks a lot. Yeah, then I've just had a look in the chat. So for now, there are no questions, but certainly coming in. So until then, maybe some of you, so maybe Jörn, maybe you can also answer one question that I prepared. So what's the benefit of having Shopware PaaS coming out of Shopware's universe, so from us as a vendor for a merchant? Instead of, for example,
it's a bit, I understand your question. So it's a bit like what I said before, try to make it short there. If you take Shopware self-hosted and you always need to do a lot of different stuff to make it work. So you need the servers, you need all this tooling, which Jonathan showed you is integrated in Shopware PaaS. You need to secure your platform. You need to make sure that you have deployment pipelines that are working well, that you have a good testing in place so that things doesn't go online that shouldn't. Testing also means what Jonathan said, that your environment, when you copy it, that there are no emails sent to customers because you're testing something, or so a lot of things what you have to take care of. And normally you have different providers for that. So you take a hoster, maybe there's an agency doing kind of service, maybe you need management of hosting in addition. And then you have Shopware, and Shopware is, there you can get the application support if there is something which doesn't work. But as all of these things have to work integrated together, that's the part you have to make sure, because nobody in all of this construct, when you have a lot of different third-party providers, is responsible for bringing everything together. So there can be finger pointing between these different parties. There can be ping pong, because the one says, okay, I think it's on the infrastructure side. Then on the infrastructure comes a new info you have to take back to Shopware or whatever. And that shows that the integrator here is you. You are the one between the chairs. And that is exactly what you don't have with Shopware PaaS. Even though when we say Platform as H as a technology is behind our offer, and Platform as H again has cloud infrastructures behind them, it's multi-cloud, so you can run on Google or Azure or whatever you choose. You want to work on AWS, but all of this is integrated with us, meaning we make sure that it's the best platform for running Shopware. And we use these other technologies and partners to work together and make the best experience out of it. And everything which we optimize in this product will directly benefit also you if you are a customer in there. So we're getting better and better in delivering this solution. And if you have a problem, you always come to us, and we are the ones that are responsible for delivering the SLA and everything you need. And I think that really comes to the point. So for you, it's much more efficient that there's one party and you are not, there's nobody else we can say is responsible for it.
Yeah, that's great. It's this typical blame the other game, and I think that's also, I think, a great asset to know that there's just one person to talk to and one dedicated partner for all of these related things. So that's, I think, something that merchants definitely like. So by the way, if I'm a merchant right now, we're close before Black Friday, so maybe I have some other things in mind. So why should then Shopware PaaS help me in this? Jörn, do you have any kind of deal? Maybe for the auto scaling option, I can imagine that it might definitely help to let's say, even peak times that I definitely need for my shop.
Yeah. So what you can also, if you know more about when your peaks are, that's great, because you can always deliver this information to us, and we can prepare that this setup is made, and this additional timely scaling up and scaling down again is part of your of the planning of your infrastructure already. But also, if it comes to peaks, there's an active monitoring from our side, meaning anytime we experience that there's a peak going up and it comes to limits of the service you've booked, we can or we can directly react to it and upscale it. If it's in your contract defined, then you don't have to be involved in that, and we can directly do it. And I think that's a great advantage. You don't have to care about it in the end. But the only thing is that we always ask you to, if there is planned something, so you will have a peak and you will have double, that we know before, because it's way better to plan it before than to react. But still, this possibility is there, and it's always an active monitoring, which is a lot help for you on sleeping better in terms of when things go up, sales go up, and traffic goes up. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, it's good that you're telling this. On the other hand, I mean, if I'm a merchant, I really would like to have a contract saying that I got guaranteed uptime, downtime, and so everything definitely being contracted. So can you maybe say something about the SLAs that the merchants get? Is that comparable to, say, 99.9% what I receive when I do classical hosting, or what's the difference?
Yeah, there's two different setups which you can choose from, which also depend a bit on what you need. So there's some which comes with a bit more shared resources. That means that the costs are a bit lower, and there's dedicated resources, which means that the cost is a bit higher. But on the dedicated resources, we have a triple redundant system, meaning that there is really that we can deliver a 99.99% uptime guarantees, and that for each month, which comes to, I think, something around 4 minutes or something a month, which is allowed, I would say, but normally doesn't happen. But we guarantee everything until that. And if you go to dedicated, it's still 99.9% that we guarantee the uptime. So I think it's a high SLA we can deliver here.
Yeah, great. That sounds definitely good. So I see no more questions in the chat. So I think we have covered, I think, a lot of them. But on the other hand, I think to those who maybe see that video a little bit later, so the favor of doing a LinkedIn Live session is it stays in your feed. So this session will definitely last a little bit until it disappears. And so you can always ask questions to this in the chat. So we will definitely also, during the next days, come back to you and ask definitely, or let's say respond to the questions that you have. Furthermore, what I can also offer is that if there is something that you would like to have individually solved. If you would like to have an individual offer and have some questions regarding Shopware PaaS, just connect, get in touch. Also by using this QR code, so it would lead to my profile, and we can definitely directly connect. Or just also use one of the 2 links that I also have put in the comment sections. One is the ROI calculator, which I think is a great basis for a first initial discussion on return of investment, which this solution definitely provides. And the second one is the link to our website, where you can also have more information about Shopware PaaS, the philosophy behind, and why this is a great addition to the product portfolio that we have. Yeah, and at the end, guys, it's a wrap. So Jörn, John, thanks. You did a great job and have also answered great questions. So yeah, happy to have done that. Also connect with Jörn and John, so because they are also as moderators in this session. So specifically to John, so if there are some specific questions regarding the demo or some technical aspects, also feel free to address him personally. He's always there, I know. Cool.
Yeah, just maybe as final information, as Jörn already mentioned it, it's a great opportunity that you are not limited to any hosting providers. So you can choose from Azure to all hyperscalers, which are below the architecture. But that's not all. You can also, just as a final information, because that's good to know, if you only host in Germany, normally most hosting providers have problems then to also getting your stack up in another country. If you are on an internationalization journey, then maybe it could also make sense that the hosting provider which you have below your application is also capable of running different stacks in other countries. And the Shopware PaaS is capable of doing so. So you can host worldwide, which means if you start in Germany, you have later on also the option to host the complete same stack also in US, also in different other countries. So there are no limitations also to getting a cluster up and running worldwide. That's just as a final information.
Cool. Great. Yeah, seamless growth path. I mean, that's our story, John, or isn't it? So good to get that information as well. Yeah, was a great question, a great session with you guys. Also great. Thanks, John, for the addition at the end. Yeah, looking forward to one of the next sessions, and seeing you soon.
Yeah, thank you very much, Boris.
Take care.
Everyone
Bye-bye.
out there. Bye.